this, if only the COMELEC or Smartmatic would maintain that the results on the website and under the law, Section 34 of Republic Act 1969, they should maintain the results for 3 years. Not 3 months, not 6 months, 3 years for the public to view and download. Now, to this day, in the past 3 elections, no such website has existed. Again, that's another election offense by the COMELEC. And these are just glaring incidents that we don't know who is running the show. Is it COMELEC? Is it Smartmatic by a few people in this room? Or is it us, the voters, who are really the ones laying our votes and to consider this, that is this really actually happening? And it's not. And that is not yet been resolved. Now, all these issues that's been raised simply because all the gaps, as what Representative Luz Welfare saying, and what Glenn was saying about the gaps of the hours difference, simply because the transmission is not secured, because they are not using the digital signature as properly as the industry dictates. And if you would read through the ICT document, which is already in your table, they have here the version 1.0, which defines, if I may read, okay, number 2.16.2, 608.1.20.11, which conforms to some international protocol, all right? And if you're going to rely on this international certification body, here we have the ICT is already conforming to the international standard on the internet. And whether Smartmatic orders the transmission contract, as long as they use that kind of digital signature that is issued by the Department of ICT, which requires, incidentally, Your Honors, the true identity of the Board of Elections, requiring them to submit their birth certificates, their unified multipurpose ID, or the UMID, as well as a photo, so that whoever is a person sending it is also accountable. It's not like what has been practiced the past 3 elections, where Smartmatic is providing all these iButtons with the corresponding PIN numbers, which is randomly given, and who knows that they have the control, and we would not even know who that person may be. And maybe that issued iButton can be given to another top dick and hired out in the street to do the transmission and then enter that data. And therefore, your integrity has been compromised. The data has been compromised. So there are still accountability issues and transparency issues concerned here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, what does the COMELEC say about the digital signature?
Sir, that has been long resolved by the Supreme Court in Kapalya, wherein...
Can you enlighten us, please?
Yes, sir. The Supreme Court already said that the digital signature of the PCM, or that was PCOS then, of the PCOS, was sufficient, and that the contention that the BEI should have their own, stated in the decision, is just an option. Be that as it may, we are already negotiating with the ICT on the issuance of the digital signatures for the BEIs, which is being explained by Mr. Casino. We're just waiting for the reply of the DICT on how we would be able to make that into a reality. Kasi medyo mahirap po yan. Like, we will get from the BEIs all their birth certificates, UMID cards, and how do we do that? When will we enroll those teachers? Kasi personal ang gusto nila eh.
Per calendar of activities, when do you identify the BEI of a clustered precinct pala? Sa calendar natin.
So mga January na yun.
January na yun, ano?
Yes,
so
after we have finalized the project of precincts.
If we have to do this, kailangan maaga lahat. Three or 4 months earlier siguro lahat. Even the project of precincts. Ganun po ba?
Yes, sir.
So, pero kaya gawin. Kaya namin.
kinakausap na namin po, since 2 months ago ang DICT for this purpose. Meron lang mga konting clarification, iniintay na namin ang sagot.
How about the very basic contention of Mr. Casino that in the case of mobile phones, wherein there's an estimated user of 10 or 20 million Filipinos who are using mobile phones, and yet it can still be data can be transmitted in only a few seconds. Why is it here that we only have 97,000 machines, which transmits to the 3 kinds of servers that you were mentioning earlier, and yet there is traffic?
Sir, data ang sinasabi ni Mr. Casino kanina, yung text yun eh. Amin is data. That's why we cannot even use an ordinary signal of Globe and Smart just to send our data. Kasi kailangan, what do you call it, GPR?
VPN, sir.
We're using VPN. Tapos, it's a special kind of a network, a private network. If you're not connected to it, then you cannot receive. It is just part of our...
Excuse me, Edie. With more reason that since you are using a VPN,
Yes,
there
sir.
should be no reason that there is traffic.
No, what I was saying, sir, is that we are sending data packets. We're not just sending text. Anyway, it's Mr. Casino's opinion, so we respect his opinion, sir.
Well, siguro ang yung opinion ni Mr. Casino is, towards what we all want to happen, which is to improve the automated election system. Anyway, I told Attorney Glenn Chong that he will be recognized after Mr. Casino. So, Attorney, Congressman, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I just have a quick reaction to Mr. Casino, whose comments
Well, with the permission of Attorney Chong.
But anyway, I was going to ask, because I concur with all your suggestions, that it was explained by COMELEC that the testing of the BCMs acquired will be made sometime in January. Okay? My related question to that is, what will the testing consist of specifically? For example, in the 2016 elections, they superimposed a square in lieu of the oval, which does not constitute a faithful reproduction of what is to be optically scanned. And that has adverse effect on the results of the election, as I can explain later on. But, for example, that's one. There is also in every image capture of the ballot an ID number of the precinct, and then added to that in sequential or consecutive order are numbers, no? But as has happened in the 26th election, the numbers were all jumbled up. It was not in consecutive order, and worse, there were missing and unaccounted ballots in sequential order. That is an indication of fraud, Your Honor. So, will the machines to be tested include that? Now, on the digital signatures, what they used as the form of digital signature is the I button, the password, and the PIN number, which is contrary to what the law says. But even that, Your Honor, it appeared in many precincts that the digital signature was only made by the chairman, not the 3 members of the BEI, and in some cases just a member. That again is an indication that there is a scheme, to alter or tamper or manipulate the results. Now, will all this now be reformed so that in 2019 this will not happen anymore? That is my question.
Yeah, yun naman ang importante. But let's listen to Attorney Chong and then for reaction, COMELEC later. Sige, Attorney Chong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First is yung sinabi po ni Commissioner Casquejo. I don't know if I read that right. Sinabi po niya, sir, na ang i-check po natin yung resulta po ng halalan kung 3 tao ang sumakay, 3 tao din po ba ang bumaba? Di po ba, sir? Sabi ko din. That was his visualization. 3 tao ang sumakay, i-check natin kung 3 tao din po ba ang bumaba. Sige, sabihin na lang po natin jeepney. Ito po, typical example. I will answer that. The case of Consla in 2016 po. 555,896 votes po ang na-record po sa transparency server. 555,896 votes were recorded in the transparency server. Nakuha po nila yung snapshot ng transparency server. So ito po yung katumbas ng 5 tao at 1 unano. So 5.5 kasi 555,000. So yung visualization natin, may 5 tao at 1 unano sumakay sa jeepney. Nang bumaba na po, 2 tao na lang ang bumaba. Ang na-record po sa official COMELEC server is 213,814 votes. Nawala po yung 342,082 votes. Nawala po yung 3 tao at yung unano, sir. So, that's my visualization. Sinabi po ni Commissioner Casquejo, 3 tao, dapat 3 tao ang sumakay, dapat 3 tao ang bumaba. Ito po, 5 tao at 1 unano ang sumakay, ang bumaba, 2 tao na lang. Wala yung 3 tao at 1 unano.
Saan mo kinumpare ulit transparency server?
Transparency server, sir,
Compared
at
to
the COMELEC central server.
Central server, okay.
Yes, sir. And the discrepancy is 342,082 votes. Now remember that this data came only from one file also, the one from the BCM. Kasi nag-transmit siya sa transparency, nag-transmit din siya sa COMELEC central server. So therefore, the source of these votes should only be one, the BCM only. Kasi si BCM nag-transmit sa transparency, nag-transmit din sa COMELEC central server. Dapat tugma po yan sila.
Complete the picture. Yung sa transparency server figure mo, anong time and date yon?
Yung time and date po, sir, is May 10, 12 noon.
May 10, 12, no? O yung isa, ganun din.
This was the official tally after May 10. After May 10 na po yun, nung proclamation na po ng party list.
So after May 10, ang central server, 213,000 pa lang.
213,814. Nabawasan po sila ng 342,082 votes. Kaya sabi ko, nawala yung 3 tao sa isang unano. Now, the other one, Your Honor, is, lubusin ko na po, sir, because baka sa susunod na taon pa ako tawagin uli. Sir, ito sir, discrepancy also in the official tally. Yes sir, I would have preferred if you will allow me to show it sir para makita po ninyo. Nandun po yun sa kanila, kinuha din po nila sir. This is a comparison of the votes from the, di ba, nag-transmit sa Municipal Board of Canvassers, City Board of Canvassers, District Board of Canvassers, Provincial Board of Canvassers, Regional Board of Canvassers, National Board of Canvassers. Pag sinam up mo po lahat ng boto na yan, sir, it's 193,429,513 votes. You compare that against the COMELEC Central Server records, which is only 193,187,000, 193,187,801 votes. Kulang po ng 241,712 votes. That is all the canvassing systems compared against the COMELEC Central Server, which is the official server. Kulang po yung sa kanila ng 241,712 votes, sir. So, yan po ang question diyan. Bakit kulang yung sa kanila? Bakit sobra yung kabila? Now, that's one issue. Now, the next is with respect yung kaninang sinabi ni Attorney Hubert Guevara na yung log. Okay. Actually, the basis that we have here is audit logs po, sir. And these are certified true copies from the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal. Kasi protesta po yan ni Congressman Villaperte. Meron na po kaming kopya ng audit logs. According to the audit logs in Naga City, Camarines Sur, out of 130 precincts, 32, Your Honor, 3-month speed mo na alas 5 ng hapon. Nasa audit log po yan, alas 5 ng hapon. Pero natanggap po yan ng transparency server, alas 7:30 ng gabi. alas 7:30 ng gabi. There is a difference of 2 hours to 2 hours and a half from the point of transmission sa makina to the point of reception sa transparency server, sir. Malaking diferensya po yan. 2.5 hours. Malaking diferensya po yan. And then, kaya nga po, sir, bakit po na-receive pa rin nila kahit matagal na? Dahil po, nandun ang queue server. That is the explanation why may lag na ganun kahaba. It's because there's a queue server that makes sure that all the results pass in. So, the other one, sir, is, nag-mention po siya ng VPN, I will ask a while later, pero ganito po, sir. Di ba may paratang po ako, sir, noong July 31. Pinasagot po ninyo sila, sir, Mr. Chair. At natandaan ko po yung sinabi ninyo. As a matter of fact, the motion that was filed by Vice President Robredo also mentioned about this. I took an oath and I charged the COMELEC of itong mga problema sa eleksyon. Ang sabi po ninyo, sir, natandaan ko po, we will sanction him. Ako, isa-sanction ninyo. This committee, this Senate of the Philippines will sanction me kung hindi po totoo ang sinasabi ko. Now, ngayon po, sir, sumagot na po si COMELEC. Nabasa ko po yung sagot nila. Nandiyon na po sa inyo, nandun din po yung paratang ko. Ano ho ang judgment ninyo, sir? Sino ho ang sinungaling sa aming dalawa? Ako po ba o sila po ba? Kasi there should be someone who is lying, sir. Kasi hindi naman pareho ang sagot namin. Ako sabi ko may dayaan, may anomalya, may irregularidad. Sabi po ng COMELEC, walang dayaan, walang irregularidad. So meron sa aming nagsisinungaling, sir. So kung ako yun, then I would ask na ipakita ko yung ebidensya ko, sasagutin ko po ang COMELEC, sir. Kasi ang sagot po nila hindi po tama. Hindi po talaga tama ang sagot nila. Gusto kong ipakita, ipapayagan po ninyo ako. Now, the last one is yung VPN, Virtual Private Network. Pwede kong matanong po ang COMELEC, sir, if the Virtual Private Network, the people there can access the internet from within, at ano-ano pong sites ang in-access po nila? Are these connected to the elections or not? Like, nag-access po ba sila ng Vanguard? Nag-access po ba na sila ng ibang sites? I would like to ask that one, Your Honor, from the COMELEC.
Let's have a working lunch na lang, no? Okay? So, no, we will give Attorney Chong a copy of the answer of the COMELEC.
I already have, sir. As a matter of fact, ready na po ako sasagot sa kanila.
Hindi, just answer the committee in writing also, Attorney Chong na lang, if you want to answer it. Siguro, but I am alarmed with the point raised by Attorney Chong, if you will confirm this. The status of the votes reported to the transparency server as of May 10, 12 noon, sabi niya, nasa 555,000 level. And yet the central server, the official one, tama ba to call central server? No, not official, but the central server, mamaya itanong ko nga rin, bakit kailangan pa ng central server and transparency server kung wala pa lang official dyan, ano? O mamaya na yan. But that second, the central server, as the status is 213,000 after May 10 na. So, do you confirm such a finding muna? And if yes, explain.
I cannot confirm the exact figures now, sir. We have to look at our logs. But I think it should be made clear also that when the transmission is made, there's a possibility that the central server may not receive the results that were received by transparency.
Agree ako doon, pero kaya nga ang laki nung gap, 300,000, less than half. So,
sige po.
Hindi na malabo na yun, no?
Sir, kailangan kasi talaga natin makita muna yung logs and numbers kasi pati kami nalalakihan eh.
Pero wala kayong na-notice na gano'n nung time ng election? Kasi I'm sure you would have noticed that, right? Kung gano'n ka-delayed yung transmission to your central server and then way ahead si transparency server.
Sir, our focus, sir, is the official, which is the boards of canvassers. Kasi the rest are just advanced unofficial results. And yung central server, sir, doon din nakukuha doon pinupull out ng public website yung results coming from the BCM and the boards of canvassers. Yun ang purpose ng central, sir.
Ulit, sir. Paano, andito mga commissioners, bagong commissioners natin gusto ko malaman. If the central server is not official anyway, and we maintain a transparency server, which is the third transmission, and then the central server is the second transmission, supposed to be from the VCM machine, and we entertain the possibility that not all three transmissions will be completed, hence the possibility of discrepancy between the central server figures and the transparency server figures. Why do we have to do all of this and confuse ourselves? Why not make the central server the transparency server? Kasi nag-transparency tayo and then pag-compare sa central, iba, explain pa natin anong discrepancy. Nag-fail nag-transmit. Sino ang nag-fail nag-transmit? Hanapin mo pa sino ang nag-fail. So, andito yung dalawa nating commissioners, bago to sila. I mean, the entire concept, sir, can you just review it? Why do we have the central server and then the transparency server na hindi pwedeng simultaneous transmission kasi physically impossible. So, sequential, pwedeng pumalpak, hindi umabot yung third transmission, si second pumunta, iba na talaga ang count dun.
Well, that explains the comment of the good man Glenn Chong with regards to the number of persons who is riding in the vehicle. What I am referring here in the tatlo yung sumakay, tatlo yung bumaba is the transmission from the VCM to the CCS on a particular VCM. So what is explaining earlier is the totality of many VCMs. So there are situations wherein the Board of Election Inspectors, once they have already transmitted the results in the municipal or the city Board of Canvassers, they are thinking that okay na rin po yun with regards to the transparency and the central server. So there are situations na yung transmission lang is only transmitted in the CCS where it is located in the Board of Canvassers. So that is why may situations na kulang yung nasa transparency server and the central server because of that three transmissions. Now, since it's just a policy of the commission on having a transparency server where the law requires only a transparency server, so we can talk it in our NBank for a certain policy with regards to that, so that to address those discrepancies and para hindi magkaroon ng confusions bakit dito sa central server, ito na yung resulta, sa transparency server, ito na yun. What we are concerned really here is yung resulta talaga from the VCM going to the municipal board of canvassers or the boards of canvassers where doon nakakaroon ng proclamation of winning candidates. Yun ang sinisecure talaga namin na yung resulta coming from the VCM is the same from the result that is received by the CCS because that is the official count for purposes of proclaiming the winning candidates. And in the transparency server, in the central server, is just an advanced copy for the public, like for the PPCRB and other agency or other government agency or any private individuals na makita yung advanced results. Hindi mahirap din naman kasi na every precinct meron silang tao doon na mag-receive, magtatali ng results.
Okay, upon motion of the members of the panel, we will have a 15-minute lunch break, so we can also have some CR break. Okay, so the session is suspended for 15 minutes. Isa lang?
Ayun o, tatlo kami doon, no?